CAPSI podcast series, Conversations on African Philanthropy.
Hello, my name is Masego Madzwamuse. I am the host of the Adoye podcast series, season 2, that is part of our 2026 gathering, which is held in partnership with the Nawi Collective and the Center of African Philanthropy and Social Investment under the Adoye program. And we're bringing together a group of fabulous women, Pan-African feminists, 30 women who have come together for this writing retreat. And we are curating a space that recognizes writing as political work, storytelling as a site of healing, and community as essential to sustaining feminist thought and creativity on the continent. And through the podcast, you'll get to hear about the incredible work that the individuals who are part and who are participating in this year's retreat are involved in. Welcome once again to Adoye podcast series, season 2. And I am in conversation with a group of fabulous women. I don't get enough of saying this. Fabulous women from different parts of the continent who are Pan-African feminists doing deep decolonial work of writing and rewriting ourselves whole again. And my name is Masego Madzwamuse. I'm in conversation with a sister, a core dreamer, a core journer, and her name is Bella. And I will not introduce you further than that, Bella, because I'd like our listeners to hear from you who you are and whose you are.
Masego, thank you for having me on your show, really. It's a question that I reflect on a lot. Mm-hmm. I believe that I belong, first and foremost, to the soil of the African continent. Oh. And I define myself very much over and redefine myself as a daughter of the African soil. Mm-hmm. And that is one of my primary identities. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And linked to that is I define myself as the child who was born out of my parents' love.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm born when my country is under colonial occupation, at a time when it's called by its colonial name. Mm-hmm. And my parents would not have met because of the rules and regulations around movement at that time. But somehow the forces of the world, of the universe, conspired to bring them together. Mm-hmm. And my parents' love story plays out in the beginning in Bulawayo.
Oh, yeah. Bulawayo.
Ewe. So very much, Bulawayo is my first home. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And although I come from an ethnic group that's not Ndebele, much of who I am was shaped by being around and living within the Ndebele people of my country, who called me Masbanda, right? Yes. Which is their interpretation of my clan name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I treasure that, that I've always risen out of those multiple identities of being both sovereign, but also subject. Yeah. Sovereign to my people, but also subject to the empire. This week it has occurred to me again, and I want to reaffirm that I am God's child.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's an identity that I am so comfortable in. Yeah. With all my self-identified flaws and shortcomings around the expectation from those who understand our divinity in constricted ways. Because when I think about the magnitude of who God is, then none of us are flawed. Yeah. I think also, and I want to honor this, I'm the child of my grandparents because they were part of the collective project of my upbringing. I was raised by my intimate family village, my community in the black working class townships of our colonized cities and in the rural areas of our homelands. And the first hands that held me were those of my grandparents. My mom tells me, and I have some kind of neurological memory of it, although, you know, people cast doubt on that. I remember it so vividly. My maternal grandmother and my grandfather came to receive me, and my paternal grandmother, that was her first journey on an aeroplane. They came also to receive me. So I'm their first grandchild of this union of my parents. And so when I say I'm a child of love, it is because I have always known that in my family, in my communities, and at home, I rest in the comfort of love.
Love thrives. Love thrives. I actually love that question because when people respond to it, we begin to see the threads that bind us. You talk about the people in Bulawayo referring to you as Masbanda, and it takes me to my grandmother. Umasbanda, Udao, you know, and Bulawayo. I grew up in Bulawayo myself. It takes me to places that are common. And one thing that has been happening in the retreat, there's something beautiful about a common thread that is emerging about, you know, children in transition, children of liberation, children of revolution, shared histories, and a continuation of that. And to sit back and reflect on what this means in contemporary times in the company of sisters like you is something so powerful. And with that, I'd just like to invite you to share a little bit on what you're working on. What are you exploring? I mean, you are an established writer. I don't think Bella needs a writing retreat, but what was it about this retreat that made you say, yes, I'm coming, yes?
So there were many yeses about receiving the invitation. Some of it was to do with how last year I was very clear. I wanted to start my year living as an author. And really foregrounding that identity around the other identities I have in my career and my profession. And stepping into it with confidence. And I actually requested of the Creator, I wanted to be in nature. Look where we are.
Ask and you shall be given.
Absolutely. I wanted to be with wildlife. And I wanted also to be in comfort. And all of that has played out. But I wanted also to be in a place where there were no constrictures about what we were working on. And I must say that this is the first ever writing excursion where I haven't been told these are the rules, where it's been an open invitation to work on what we want to work on. So I'm working on the second of my manuscripts. My first one completed last year out of an MA program I did on creative writing. And very much how the story is emerging, it's around 4 black women from our country who are raised in the post-independence years and who are serving their nation as civil servants. The kind of women whose contributions to building our society have kind of been invisibilized. They've been stalwarts in a terrific way. They've held things together at the worst of times for us. And the story is a story of mystery and intrigue because they get to a point where they are disappointed. with what is being offered by the nation. The tools they require for their jobs are not available. And they come up with a plan. And at the moment, I'm working out how this heist, that they deliver in order to draw the resources to where they should be, emerges. But I'm also learning about their childhood journeys because it's a different generation, right? And that's quite fascinating to me, stretching me imaginatively. The other thing that I really wanted was to sit with the legacy and with the blessing, I call it, of the many African women who've gone before us.
Oh, yes.
And I often think the canon will start with the contemporary authors who are terrific to honor. No Violet Bulawayo, for instance, and her exquisite work and voice immediately comes to mind. But I'm casting my net all the way back to Flora Nwapa, who has the stature of being the first black woman from Africa whose manuscript was actually published. And it's shown me a glorious canon of work that has been understood, but also that is not always easily available in libraries and in academic curricula.
Yeah, and you've been doing such a, thank you, Bella, you've done, in the retreat, you have been reminding us over and over again about the importance of the memory work and excavating and lifting in our frameworks, the conceptual frameworks that inform our work, the work of the generations that came before us. And one of the things that you highlighted for us was the importance of bringing that, because their work has been made invisible, even as we explore fiction or narrative, nonfiction work that others are exploring. Do you care for people who might not be aware of this project of making the work of the ones that came before us invisible, how that came about, what it looks like, and how one intentionally can build the frameworks into how we view the world?
Sure. So amongst my many teachers was Mrs. Nkrumah. She was in Zimbabwe from Ghana. And she was teaching me English literature for O and A level. And it led to a curiosity in conversation with her, because that's when, as a young adult, you start to be treated like you think for yourself, right? In the education system. And she would speak about Ama Ata Aidu.
Yes.
But Ama Ata also lived in Zimbabwe and taught at the University of Zimbabwe. So for me, these are the authors with whom I identify with whom I say what we are trying to do as women writers of the 21st century, we could not exist without what they gave us. Even if we didn't get the chance to study it when we were in school. Because our curriculum was very much focused on Chaucer and Shakespeare.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So for me, the African women writers of that generation who were troubling the colonial narratives about our countries, but who were writing the story that centered the Black African girl's experience are critical for us. Because we also, in our memory making in this space, are understanding that very often in growing up, it was reading things like Jack and Jill Went Up the Hill.
Yes.
Right? We didn't have the children's books that are available to our children today, right? Where the girl has coarse hair, right? That the mother needs to figure out how to braid. We had Instead, the girl with very blue eyes and very blonde hair, right? And it wasn't necessarily relatable to our experience of
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
But beyond, I think, the imagination they offer in their literature, it is what happened in their lives that I think is a dynamo for how we can exist. These are women who insisted on their intelligence and their genius
Yes.
existing at a time when black people were rendered ungenius. Yeah? At a time when Africans were in books by Conrad, for instance, in Heart of Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
We were the mumbo jumbo of the world, right? And so you see in the work of Nawal el-Saadawi from Egypt that very much we are surfaced, right? She's writing as a doctor, a trained medical doctor, who works in rural hospitals and who minds that whole experience to write about sexism and discrimination
Oh,
as
yeah.
she experienced
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And we see that very much in Woman at Point Zero. So I love that we have at our disposal the courage that they bestowed upon us
Yeah.
to keep going
Yeah.
even when it is very difficult.
Yes.
To keep going even when you almost have to write on the periphery
Oh, yes.
of other experience and necessity. And I don't disregard the material necessity of paying rent, buying food, life expenses. So for me, when I think about this retreat, it's also a terrific indulgence. An indulgence in time that very often as black women who hold so many plates,
Oh, yeah.
right? We don't get. So when you live as a writer, it can be deprioritized because then you have to think, oh, I'm a writer, but I'm a writer after being a teacher,
Yes.
after working,
Yeah.
right? After being a mom, after being a partner in a union, yeah? After being a daughter. So you chip away at your own writing space. And what this retreat has done is it's given us,
Yeah.
these 2 weeks
Yeah.
of delicious time that say,
Yeah.
we are cared for,
Yeah.
we're at peace, we're safe, everything is taken care of.
Yeah.
We have the space imaginatively
Yeah.
and in terms of how we are living to be able to write.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because the what you lift about what it means to live the life of a writer and the obstacles are along the way, the reality is in the end it has created this void.
Yes.
And I know you explore fiction as a way of writing into that void and allowing us the creativity to speculate and to dream, to ideate,
Yeah.
and to look at filling the gaps in knowledge and information about what is and what has been, what could be. Could you just take us a bit more into that genre of writing that you are exploring and the importance of it as part of the project of curating our memory in the continent?
Absolutely. I think the dominant and dominized memories of our continent are shaped first by the external gaze, right? Which has had ownership of knowledge resources, of knowledge production, of publishing, yeah? Of knowledge, even authority about who we are. And that is what we're disrupting. We're saying, okay, you think we're that? Actually, no. We're a counterforce to
Yes.
what has been written about us.
Yeah.
But we're not only writing in reaction, in resistance, we're also writing from an imaginative volcano of the stories that have been unwritten. Yeah? So many of us are working on poetry, on memoir, on fiction. Yeah? And these are the stories of our people who've been unpeopled.
Yes.
Yeah? And that unpeopling means they don't exist in the canon, right? And what we're doing is a restitching,
Yes.
yeah, of that erasure. And many of us have to mine it from memory and reminder and curiosity and fear.
Oh, yes.
And I think, you know, when I look at my earliest memories of the moments of learning to write, it was sitting on my grandmother's left-hand side. She was a teacher. And she would put me next to her table while she was preparing her class scripts.
Yes.
And she'd be like, no, that A is not correct. Do it again. Until it was absolutely a perfect A, E, I, O, U.
Yeah.
A, E. And this is what I am writing in.
Yeah.
So when my characters reference a grandmother, it's not a grandmother from ether. It actually sits within my grandmother and that relationship, that foundational, very real relationship. So although I tamper with it in fiction,
Yeah.
I'm also doing non-fiction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is,
Yeah.
that is such important work. Well, I'm going to shift the discussion a bit and
Sure.
maybe even take it back to the writer's retreat itself. Because the way that it's been curated is there is the space to write, what you have termed as indulgence. And luckily it's indulgence that takes us back to the land,
Yeah.
that is part of who we are, and in nature, and to remind us of that relationship and the non-separation between people and nature,
Yeah.
and where we come from. In the writing workshops themselves, being somebody who's a trained writer and that's your scholarship, is there anything that has been some form of an aha moment for you?
I call this space also a confirmation that every single one of us who's here is on the right journey.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we are so isolated from each other on the regular that you're writing with a little bit of doubt. How will this land? Yeah? With publishers and editors who don't necessarily understand my world. How will this land with editors and publishers who may say to me, we like your story, but your prepositions are in the wrong place because our language is different. So we speak a different kind of English, really, right? Even if we are trained in that British English of our education. When you hear our people talk, it's not that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what this space has done is it has said to us, it's okay. Instead of saying the water or the potatoes were in a shopping bag, they were in a basket.
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you write also with that in mind to saying, what has mattered to me, what has made sense to me is acceptable. Yeah. Because you're seeing your first readers in the retreat nodding, confirming, affirming, and saying, that is the writing that we want.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And as we wrap up, I'm going to take you to one part of the work that has been core to our work,
Yes.
and that I know you understand deeply and care about. And it has been the project of moving the writers from the head space
Yes.
and the technical process to the heart, and the thread of writing is healing.
Yes.
And I wonder what your own experience of that has been and is, because I know it's not a foreign concept to you. Why is that important to look at the two sides of this work and this calling? That yes, writing is about the word, it's about bringing it alive in all its different forms, song, rhythm, text, but at the same time, it is really soul work, isn't it?
Yeah. So the African woman writer is very much by the process of writing, not only healing her own life, but the lives of her ancestry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And much of that is to do with saying, I am all of that. Yeah. I am all of that, even if empire tried and failed to kill it. Yeah. And so there's been a healing of that, I believe. But also, I think, and this goes back to this inheritance that we hold. African women writers have always written about traumatic experiences as they are experienced in the African woman's body and psyche. And we've gone there, right? And the space of being African women writers allows us to write about things like miscarriage.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? Fertility problems. A dangerous union with someone you loved and adored, right? It shattered your heart. Yeah, the things that are not evident elsewhere in the literary canon. And that is a form of therapy.
Yes.
Not only of the I, but of the collective we.
Yeah.
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 And I think what we're doing, Masego, is we are leaving resources and tools for those who come after us
yes.
to have a less difficult time of it. And so when also healing forwards. And that has struck me a lot more on this occasion because our responsibility is to figure out, so if Chaucer can still be relevant today, how does our work outlast all of time,
Oh, yes.
all of space,
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
into infinity?
Yes.
What is it that we must write that goes beyond the confines of the now? And I believe we're accomplishing it.
Yeah. That's a good note for us to end on, Bella. Once again, thank you so much
Thank you.
for joining us
Thank
and
you.
for sharing your wisdom with us, your passion. And I look forward to the birthing of those 2 manuscripts.
Thank you.
I'll be the woman at the back of the room ululating.
Thank you.
And I think I'm going to be doing a lot of ululating in the next couple of years.
And I will ululate with you. Thank you, Masego. It's been wonderful to be on your show.
It's been wonderful to have you. And once again, that was Bella Matambanadzo and the Adoye podcast series, season 2, brought to you courtesy of Nawi Collective and CAPSI at the University of Wits. And my name is Masego Madzwamuse. Until next time.
You've been listening to the CAPSI podcast series, Conversations on African Philanthropy.